What's going on, guys? Welcome to halftime. I'm up here at the press box in Jack Trice Stadium. The great Bret Meyer is somewhere in Minnesota. It looks like his basement as we welcome him to the field. State losing to Oklahoma State 14-7 right now at halftime. And man, Bret, what a turning point was that drop by Sean Shaw as Iowa State was crossing half field. It looked like they may be able to jump into the lead. Going into halftime, drop it. You got a punt. Big play by Oklahoma State. That's a turning point in the half.
100% it was. I mean, he goes for probably 10, 15 yards. Nobody's around him. So I think that's probably why, every third down, even on the last third down, Brock had a crosser. Or no, I think maybe it was the second down where it was the incompletion to Charlie Kohler, and there was a crossing route coming wide open, but it wasn't one of the two guys that he trusts, so he didn't even look at it, which is probably not good. But yeah, we got to have somebody step up outside of those two because they're just doubling them, and it's game over in the pass game for us. So somebody's got to step up, whether it's Jalen or we got to have somebody else. And Shaw's drop was huge, completely changed the first half.
Yeah, shout out to our sponsors: Karl Chevrolet, Moines Eye Care for the whole family. And, of course, Nebraska Furniture Mart. Big stat here, and this one's a little bit skewed because of the sacks. But even take those away, Breece Hall, Bret only averaging 1.9 yards per carry. As a quarterback, when you can't run the football, how difficult that makes your job. What do you see from the running game other than the fact that this is obviously a really good Oklahoma State defense?
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I think they're controlling us up front. There's no push, and they're in the backfield a lot. And, Breece is a patient runner, but it's, usually when he's patient, things open up, and they're just really good up front. They got a couple linebackers that'll probably play on Sundays, and it's just a good defense. And, we got to be able to get some push or, create some kind of, whether it's motions or shifts or whatever we got to do to kind of get some eye candy out there to get them their eyes moving. But try to create something in the running game because, when you're one-dimensional against a good defense, it can be very difficult, and we're not good enough to do that.
I guess the one surprise I might have so far today, I mean, it is a defensive game here at Jack Trice Stadium, but Oklahoma State right now, let me looking at the box score here, averaging 7 yards per play. It's a little skewed because of that long one, but I mean, they're getting the ball downfield. Spencer Sanders is a guy who clearly I don't think Mike Gundy trusts much, but he's still 5 for 9, 2 touchdowns. I guess I'm a little bit surprised with the amount of success that Oklahoma State has had on offense thus far.
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of take that, almost like a Hail Mary. You got a 5'8" receiver who, he jumped out of the gym and got it, but that's not a play that you want to have your quarterback make. And he's been inconsistent all year. He's I think he's under 60% completion and 9 touchdowns, I think 7 interceptions on the year. So, we're 6, 7, 8 games in, he should be better than that. So pass game is not consistent, which is, not what you normally see different from a Mike Gundy offense. But yeah, I mean, we just have to be able to make the plays that are there. I know that McDonald's got close a couple times on some sacks, and he was close on that big touchdown. So, but more frustrated with our offense right now. I mean, not being able to run the ball and having some crucial mistakes on offense in the pass game has really hurt us.
Felt like a positive for Iowa State was when Mevis comes in, Punting kicks that 50-yarder to kind of flip the field. I don't honestly, and I don't get to see practice every day. I do know the plan in July was that Mevis was going to be the full-time punter, and for some reason that changed. I don't know why he hasn't been out there. I mean, he doesn't look like a pro out there, but man, like the punt game, I guess it looks a hell of a lot more consistent with him back there. At least it's going to go 40 yards and it probably won't get returned. I'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, the first punt was 35 yards. It wasn't great, but the second one, like you said, flipped the field, and just to have something better than what we've had. It doesn't have to be like you said. It doesn't need to be like this guy from Iowa who's the best punter anybody's ever seen. We just need somebody that's confident back there. And that's all we need, because we're good enough on defense that teams are not going to consistently be able to go 60, 70, 75 yards on us. So, but that completely changes when they only got to go half the field. So, I think our coaches obviously are smart enough to realize that. And hopefully he can continue to be better, in that point of the game for us.
All right, Brett, you're the offensive coordinator. You're talking with your staff here at halftime. Struggle running the football. What's your game plan? How do you attack this thing in the third quarter, knowing I'm less worried about Iowa State's defense? We always see them adjust, right? Like it happens game after game after game. I don't know if I want to get into a situation where Brock's got to throw the ball 45 times. We've seen that, and that generally doesn't end well. What's your game plan?
I mean, I think you continue to try to run the ball in certain spots, maybe not on first down as much if you're not getting anything, and maybe try to run it outside the tackles a little bit more. If we've got that in our game, or maybe even run with, Jeff spot on here, maybe run with our quarterback a little bit. But I think more than anything, it's going to be, they're probably going to, their game plan is going to be make their playmakers work, right? So they're going to double Charlie, and in obvious passing situations, they're probably going to bracket Hutchinson. So somebody else is going to have to step up, whether it's Jalen or whether it's Sean Shaw, he can shake that off. Somebody's going to have to step up and make a play, or we're not going to really have much in the pass game. So I would say try to run the ball outside the tackles, quarterback runs, and then, you just go to your other receivers, and it's like, hey, somebody's got to step up. It's time. And, Xavier, when he gets an opportunity, needs to turn, a 12-yard crossing route into a 30-yard play, because we're going to need something like that against this defense.
I'll also say this, too. Oklahoma State, with a decent amount of success running the football, Warren, Sanders combined, basically they're averaging about 6 yards per carry. Close that down, like Oklahoma State will get the ball here. I'm okay. I mean, I know he's been okay thus far, but I'd much rather see Sanders try and beat Iowa State in the second half than anything else. Like I think he's got a couple of turnovers in him, but you've got to be able to stop the run first, and that hasn't happened thus far.
Yeah, I mean, when you're an inconsistent passer like that, I think you hate is second and third and long. So if we can get them just behind the chains and really good, we can have really good reps on first and second down. That's when you're going to start to get the turnovers, because we're going to drop 8. He's going to have all 11 eyes on him, and he's going to start forcing stuff. I mean, just like the touchdown he had, that's a forced play. That's not. I mean, you can look at it like a punt or whatever, but that's, you have a 5'8" receiver. I don't care if he's got a 50-inch vertical. You threw into 2 and you got lucky. So hopefully we can get him to make a couple more plays like that, and then we can execute on the back end better than we did the first time.
Okay. I know you were watching games earlier. Oklahoma almost lost to Kansas. Man, would that have been the biggest upset? I was thinking about this. I mean, Appalachian State, Michigan always gets brought up. I think Iowa State, Nebraska in '92 is mad, but that may have been the biggest upset of our lifetime. I was actually with your guy Carper. We were watching it together, and that is incomprehensible. Like how that could happen.
I mean, it was almost a 40-point spread, but I think with Oklahoma, I mean, we've been there, right? It's like you talk to anybody in the Big Ten, they tell you the toughest place to go play is like an 11 a.m. kick at Northwestern, because nobody's there. You're playing in knee-high grass, and it's just hard to get up for the game. Northwestern is a better program than Oklahoma, but it's an 11 a.m. kick. Stadium's half full. A team that's probably getting a little bit better. And I think the thing with Spencer Rattler's probably affecting Oklahoma a little bit, just in terms of having to deal with all the questions. And, it's a distraction. And it didn't look like they were engaged. But yeah, I mean, that would have been a huge upset. And Kansas played better, but, whatever this kid Caleb Williams did, that ripping the ball out of his running back's hand on the 4th and 1 was quite a play. But yeah, I mean, that would have been probably as big of upset, like you said, as we've ever seen.
Roman with a great point here. The Penn State Illinois goes to 9 overtimes and the under hits.
God, that's unbelievable. I was watching it on my phone.
I hate that.
Yeah, I mean because 2-point conversions are hard. They're not easy to get. So that rule. I mean, if you change the rule based off of one game, I mean, it's kind of, what are you doing? Like, one game went to like 7 overtimes, and that was kind of it, wasn't it? Like, I didn't feel like it was a problem with. So now you got this. 2-point conversions are not easy to get. They're just not. I mean,
no.
It's I don't know why it is, but especially when you because you go into a game with probably 1 or 2 2-point plays, and you have to run like 10 of them. both teams did. So, I mean, it was kind of one of those things that was so bad you couldn't take your eyes away because both teams are gassed. It's raining, it's wet, it's a weather game, and then that was that was quite a watch.
Good stuff. All right. Well, hopefully Iowa State can come back here in the second half. Oklahoma State will get the ball. Feels too like this first possession for Oklahoma State is pretty important. I mean, shut them down here. This crowd is waiting to erupt, but it hasn't had much to cheer about this far.
Yeah, like you said, we make tactical adjustments.
All right, we lost your audio, buddy, but that's okay. We lost your audio. I'm not sure why, but don't worry about it. Go take care of those girls. We appreciate it. We got it. All right. He's Brett. I'm Chris. Hopefully the clones can come back. Thanks to our great sponsors. We appreciate it. Is Iowa State trails Oklahoma State by 7 at the half. Of course, we will have complete coverage throughout the rest of the day. Take a look at our lineup. Instant reaction I'll have on the Cyclone Fanatic podcast feed afterwards. Rob and Jared will have the post-game show as well on all the social media platforms. So hopefully it's a positive one. We'll see you guys after the game. Thanks for watching.